All right, are you guys ready? We're going to learn some words today. The math is not tricky. You can all do the math, but what I see happening is we mix up the words and then we do the opposite of what we're supposed to be doing. So we're really going to dig into what these words mean to help us understand what to do. So our first word is least common multiple. So a least common multiple is multiplying. And some things we need to know. We're going to start with some key ideas first. Multiples are more, right? The M and the M, they're connected together. There are a multitude of multiples, right? M, M, M. We're getting all those M's in our mind. And what do multitudes do? They go on forever. We're going to multiply. So get that key information there. We need to understand that multiples are more. Lots of us like to start with this little word and we're like, oh, least. And we start at the beginning and we start making numbers that are littler, but that's not what we're doing. No, multiples have to get bigger and be more. So now let's look at the vocabulary words. We have least common multiple. This is its nickname, LCM. And we're going to break that word apart. So here in our vocabulary word, don't use up the whole thing. You're going to have another word to do. So the L, right, it's going to go down. It is the lowest number. It is the lowest number, but that's not where we start. We're going to start at the back, actually, okay? The C means that they're in common, and the M is going up when we multiply. So we multiply first, and then find the lowest number they have in common. We have to remember that multiples multiply. That might be a good thing to add to your future self notes. So multiply, then find the lowest common number. So we're going to do a practice here. So take half of the space, and yours doesn't have to look exactly like mine, but you do have to have the parts in the circles. So we're going to take half of this box, and we're going to find the LCM of 16 and 24. So we're multiplying. So we're going to start 16 times 1, 16 times 2, 16 times 3, 16 times 4, 16 times 5. Lots of times going about 5 places usually gives us what we need, and we can add on from there if we need to. So 16 times 1 is 16. So all we're doing is making a list of skip counting numbers. 16 times 1, 16 times 2, and we're just going from there. So 16 times 2 is 32. And then we're going to do 16 times 3. So if we don't know it off the top of our heads, we just do a little problem. So there's 18. 3 plus 1 is 4. So our next is 48. Now we're going to go 16 times 4. So there's 24. 4, 5, 6. We're at 64 now. And then 16 times 5, there's 30, 5, 6, 7, 8 is 80. That's right, 16, 32, 48, 64, 80, we multiplied. We're making multiples. They're more, they're getting bigger. So now we have 24. So 24 times 1 is 24. 24 times 2 is 48. We're just going in order. 24 times 3 is 72. Now 24 times 4, I'm not sure about that one, so I'm going to just do a little problem really quick. 4 times 4 is 16. 8 plus 1 is 9, so we're at 96. And then the fifth one, we're going to do 24 times 5. 4 times 5 is 20. There's 10, 11, 12. That's 120 there. So now we have our multiples. There were more. And we could keep going, right? There's a multitude of multiples. We could go on forever. We could keep going. But we don't need to because we have the LCM. So what we're going to do is we are going to circle up that LCM. So we're looking for, right? L means least. So now we've multiplied. Now we're going to look for the lowest number they have in common. So we have 16. Do they both have 16? Nope, it has to be in common. 32? No, they don't both have 32. 48? Oh, yes, they both have 48. So I'm going to circle up my multiple that they have in common. So the littlest number that they both have in common when we multiplied is 48. So the LCM of 16 and 24 is 48. All right, let's switch gears and we're going to talk about the greatest common factor. So again, lots of us hear the word greatest and we're like, oh, I should multiply. I've got to get it bigger. Nope. We're going to start with the factor and then find the biggest number. So we need to know that factors are fewer, right? Factors are fewer. There is a fixed amount of factors. There are only so many. So unlike the multiples that we could go on forever and keep multiplying, there is only so many factors a number can have. There are only so many things that can be a factor of a number. So make sure you have that key information, right? Factors are fewer. Multiples are more. Factors are fewer. So let's look at the nickname GCF. So adding to our vocabulary section, so the greatest number, right? So the biggest number that they have in common when you divide. So you can see the F is going down. We've got to get smaller. We have to go smaller and divide. Factors have to divide. So that might be a note you want to add to yourself. So multiples multiply, factors divide. Multiples multiply, factors divide. So now on factors we'll divide and then find the biggest number. So don't let those words, least and greatest, trick you into thinking you should do the opposite of multiplying and factoring. So let's practice. So in your examples, we're going to start with 24. And we're always going to start with 1 when we factor, because 1 is the first number that goes into every single thing. So here we have 24. 24 divided by 1 is 24. And then we have 24. We're going to do 24 divided by 2. We're just going to go in order so we don't skip stuff. We want to stay organized. So 24 divided by 2 is 12. So we're just finding partners that go together. So when we multiply these, they equal 24, but we're not multiplying. We are factoring. We're finding the divisibility that goes in there. Okay, so 3 can go into 24. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24. It went in there 8 times. 4 goes into 24. 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24. It went in there 6 times. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. That doesn't go in there perfectly, so it's not a factor. And then we already have 6, so that's how I know we're done. When you get to a number you already have a partner of, you're done. So here's all the factors of 24. Those are the only numbers that go into 24 perfectly, right? They're fixed. There's a set amount of them. So now let's do 16. So we always start with 1. 16 divided by 1 is 16. 16 divided by 2 is 8. So now we're going to try 3. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18. Nope, 3 does not go in there. 4, 8, 12, 16. Oh, yes, it does. 4 times 4 is 16. And now that we have a double, we know we're done. 5, 10, 15, right? That doesn't go in there. 6, 12, 18, that doesn't go in there. 7, 14, nope, 21 doesn't go in there. 8, 16, we're back to where we were. So when you get to a number you already have, or you get doubles, that's how you know you're done. So there's our factors. So multiples we list out sideways, factors are going up and down. So, right, because multiples can go on forever. And then this one's just like, we only have so much to do. And now, whoops, I did not mean to clear that. Whew, okay, there we go. So now we need to find the greatest factor that they have in common. So we're going to start looking, do they both have 16? No. Do they both have 8? Oh, yes, they do. So we're going to circle up our 8, and 8 is their greatest common factor. That's the number that they can both be divided by if I'm trying to simplify. So if I had a fraction of 16/24, I could divide those both by 8, and that would equal 2/3. So the greatest common factor can help you simplify fractions as well. So finish drawing a note or writing to yourself. Something you need to remember is remember multiples are more, factors are fewer. Do the M and the F first, and then go do the least and the greatest part. So don't start at the beginning. You have to multiply for multiples. Factors we divide are fewer, and then go find what they have in common.